go. Hello. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
I was welcoming you.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel so welcomed.
Yeah.
We should welcome other people, too.
Welcome anybody watching as well.
Yeah, all two people in the room who aren't us.
You know, it's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Looked at me.
And boy, what a 2 weeks it's been.
Gosh almighty. What's gone on in the last 2 weeks? Only like 1.5 million things, apparently.
Yeah. How about you? We'll start with you. What's new?
Well, I was more referencing worldwide, but for me, it's been
Right.
It
I understood
hasn't been
that.
too different. I moved in with my parents because I'm a successful adult. And that's it.
You know, I don't think that means you're not a successful adult. You're still in your 20s.
Late 20s.
Yeah, me too.
I'm about almost George Costanza's age when he moves in with his parents.
Really? How old is he in Seinfeld when he moves in?
They make a reference to their, like, a vague reference to their age at some point. He's either early or mid. I guess he's early 30s in the beginning of the show, and he's mid 30s by the time he moves in with his parents in, like, season 5.
It's hard to believe, but I guess every TV show, the characters are usually about 5 to 10 years older than the characters they're playing.
True, yeah.
Granted, they might have been in their late 20s when that show started, but still,
Yeah,
I don't know if that's possible. Late 20s.
All the high schoolers are, like, played by 25-year-olds.
Yeah. You know, that's cool though. Like, I think it's gonna be good.
I hope so.
For you.
Otherwise, I mean, there's no better time to move out of the city than during a global health
Seriously,
pandemic.
It sounds like a pretty great idea, honestly. I
Yeah.
follow your lead. I'm sure my mom would be very pleased if I
She'd probably
suggested the
thrilled.
idea. She'd be like, yes, please. You coming tomorrow or what?
Right, like, can I make arrangements? What can I do?
Which room do you want? We can clear out the master if you want it to be yours. Just please.
And my loneliness. My nest is so empty.
Yeah, I wouldn't say she's lonely, but she certainly
Misses her favorite child.
Is she like that Talking Head song?
Which one?
I'm lonely.
I don't think that's Talking Heads. I think we went over this like an episode or two
We
ago.
probably did go. Is that,
It's
is
not
that
Talking
No
Heads.
Effects or
It's
what's the-
we just went over this.
Oh shit! Hold on. We did definitely do this.
Yeah. Are we gonna do this every episode? This would be a
We're
running
probably
joke.
gonna do this every episode, yeah. It's by Akon. No, it's
No.
What is that song?
It is In Excess. Need You
NXS,
Tonight.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, if you don't make the joke, I'm going to from
Time
now
to
on.
draw a Scyther from memory.
So, new things for me. Let's see. Here's a
Yeah,
fun
please.
one. As we're speaking of approaching our 30s, I'm 2 months away, and on Tuesday, so almost a week now, threw out my back, and it still is horrible. I can, like, limping around.
Well, that's a shame. How did you throw it out? Like, what did you do?
I went to, Morgan's birthday, the woman I live with,
Yes.
my roommate, her birthday was on Thursday. And so on Tuesday, I went to go get one of her gifts, which was a fire pit that we've been talking about getting just because, I don't know, we like to sit out and have fires during the summer and stuff like that.
I
So,
know where this story's going.
I went to go get it, and it was this dude on, like, Marketplace, local, who he has, like, a big, like, industrial, like, steel cutter, and he makes his own. And I liked the design and everything, and it was a pretty good price, and it was local, and I was like, sure. So I went to go get it, and I paid the guy, and he's like, you want help carrying it to your car? And it looks pretty small. And I was like, nah, I got it.
and
I'm good.
I reached down and picked it up in all the wrong ways. Everything they tell you to do, I did the opposite. Gave it a good yank, and immediately felt something wrong. And the guy looks at me and goes, "They're heavier than they look." And I go, "Yeah, I see that." And then I put it in my car, and the whole way home I was like, "Oh no, something is wrong."
No.
And I'm still injured, so that's fun.
So you're gonna try and make a socially distant meeting with a chiropractor or something like that?
I don't know. I'm gonna try to take it easy first, and then if I need a chiropractor, I'll go to that step. But I prefer to not spend more money if I don't have to. So we'll see.
I'm also trying not to spend money. I did some calculations, and if I keep paying my student loans at the current price, which I want to do so I can get the fucking things out of the way,
Yeah.
but if I keep going at the current rate without earning any sort of income, I will be out of money in 9 months.
Okay. Well, or is your debt, or not debt, but is your not this is a reason to stop, but is your interest paused at the moment due to?
It has been since the pandemic
COVID.
started, but I've been making payments anyways, just to really.
Honestly, yeah, I was gonna say honestly, now's the time to make the payments because.
Yep.
Yeah.
I knocked a whole 1,000 off.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What else is? Oh yeah, second part of the story. Last night we had a fire, and then I was feeling like disappointed in my inability to do things, and I tried to pick it up again, and I think it made things worse. So I'm smart.
Oh, Jesus
it's
Christ,
the story
man.
I'm trying to get to.
Come on. Oh God.
I was getting tired of the pity, and I'm like, I can do this, and I think I hurt myself again. So I'll never walk again is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. You're like that scene from that sketch on Chappelle's show where they're making fun of like my left foot and like he's like crippled and then he's like, "Don't help me, I don't need help," and then like he just injures himself horribly while the whole
That's
crowd just
basically
looks
it.
on and applauds.
I don't know if you've gotten to the episode of Seinfeld yet with the whole family of old people that keep trying to pick stuff up and they keep injuring
Oh no,
themselves.
I haven't. That sounds funny.
And Jerry keeps like being like, "No, don't do it," and then they're like, he's like, "You're challenging me," and then he tries to pick it up.
Oh Jesus.
And then like his dad shows up, and the guy who hurt himself is old, and then his dad shows up and he's the same, and he tries to pick something up
Of
too.
course.
And then they're all like in the hospital. But yeah, no, I won't make that mistake again. That was dumb.
I love you, man, but
I'm an idiot.
you know, hey, if you wanna say that about yourself.
I was just trying to beat you to it. That's all.
Yeah, I appreciate it because I didn't want to have to breach that barrier.
You know, are you really friends until you call each other an idiot?
Honestly, though, I do think that makes a friendship stronger is when you've had your first fight and you're just like, "Come on, man."
It doesn't
And then
even
you
have to
guys get over
necessarily
it.
be a fight. I agree with
That's
you,
true.
but it doesn't. I'm just saying, like, being honest with each other, being able to
Well,
call
that's
somebody an
what-
idiot and then have that person be like, "Yeah, you're right." It's like
That's I think, yeah.
that's a different
I,
level.
I think that's the honesty is the important thing that comes out of the fight. So I think it's the honesty that matters.
Yeah, I guess the fight is kind of the same.
Yeah. It's
No.
about it's like a ladder to the honesty.
Yeah.
Friendship with Ian and Brandon. We're talking about friends. We're talking about ships.
We explained the dynamic in case you didn't know.
And also sometimes we're on a ship. This one's a C-class cruiser in the 1987 Navy.
I'd watch that show. Friendship, and it's just two guys on a big ship.
Yeah. Just talking about just like shit, like the scenes in Letterkenny when they're all on the porch just talking about bullshit.
We'll make a podcast that's just us talking while there's like ocean noises in the background.
Yes.
Welcome to Friendship. We're friends on a ship. That's literally the whole gimmick. It only has we never ever bring up any other details, so just hear ocean noises in the background.
Yeah, and someone's like, "Can someone explain why there's like
Why are they on a ship
ocean
all the
noises?
time?
Are they gonna meditate at some point? Like, what's the deal here? I'm confused.
We'll
Have
address.
you ever done meditation? Actually, now that we're talking about
Yeah, a little bit. I would like to do it more. I used to have a lot of trouble sleeping, and it would help me get to sleep. but it would also be good to do it just
Just as like a regular exercise. Which,
Yeah. I took a couple meditation classes in college. My one
really?
teacher was just like, and I'm going to be teaching an extracurricular. It's not like credits, but I'll be teaching a class on meditation if anyone wants to join. And I was in college, so I was just like, I'm trying to do new shit. So I went, and I did pretty good for a while. I'm pretty sure I went to every single class that she was doing, at least until I, like, you know, the year was over, and then I don't think she continued doing them. But, you know, it was good. I learned some good things about meditation, and I don't like ever sit down and like specifically focus on meditating like for 20 minutes a day or something like that, like I'm, you know, supposed to. But, you know, I like for instance, since I've been at the parents, I've been doing a lot of just lounging on like deck chairs in the sun at their place. And that's basically my meditation right there. Is I sit in the chair, I get sunburnt as hell, and then I feel like during that time I'm just kind of sitting there and enjoying the vitamin D and focusing on my breathing.
Use some sunscreen first off.
Oh, it's already too late, man. I am as red as a lobster, dude.
I'm just saying in future times.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think it's because of my very Italian genes, but
Are they
dried up right on the
what
crotch.
brand? What brand is? Okay, we were doing the same joke.
I was doing the same joke, yeah.
I was gonna be like, which one? Wrangler? Is that Italian?
They're Papa Levi's. But no, but like if I get burnt, or like I'm out in the sun for a little bit and either I get burnt or I don't. But like since I haven't been out in the sun for like a year, I was pasty white once I was actually stepping out into the sunlight. So I sat down and like 20 minutes in I was getting red. But like what happens is I burn, and then that burn peels away obviously like most skin does, but then I'm just incredibly tan underneath. And then it's like a brain freeze where after you get the first one you don't really have any more brain freezes from that unless you're like really fucking up eating the ice cream or something like that. Like after that I don't really burn anymore. I just get more tan.
I hear ya, and not to be a buzzkill, but cancer.
Cancer, yeah, that's the big one.
So like, you know,
I'm riddled.
try to avoid that first burn. Yeah, I'm like,
burn.
I'm like,
Cancer calling the kettle black or whatever, because my whole family dies of cancer, so it's only a matter of time.
Oh no.
Before I disintegrate.
This took a dark turn.
No, I'm just saying. You know, I hope that that's not the case, but it's
like my one side of the family all gets cancer. The other side of the family all has heart issues, which are the two top killers. So my parents should have maybe discussed this before they decided to have kids, but yet here I am.
Here you are, just they're
like, let's see if we can beat the odds.
A perfect experiment. Of
yeah, maybe they cancel each other out. Maybe it's like that one Simpsons gag where Burns goes to the doctor and they're like, you have every disease, and they're causing the Three Stooges effect where they show like all the diseases trying to squeeze through the door.
Yeah. Trying to like squeeze them through the doorway. Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'll get.
Hey, maybe. I mean,
Simpsons
feel like
has been right before.
I feel like that can happen. I feel like you should bank on that.
Yeah. I mean, I do my best on taking care of myself, and all that kind of stuff is
kind of out of my hands, so.
Yeah. Question, real quick, for this drawing, should I give the bomb glasses?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask why you hadn't yet.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. It's beach volleyball, you gotta have sunglasses.
Right.
You know, it's the same sunglasses they wear when they're flying jet planes.
That's absolutely right. I was just about to ask, what's the song that plays during the volleyball scene?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm going to look that up. And it's too bad that Twitch doesn't... Or Twitch, you know, it's too bad that a lot of all the copyright stuff, because I would love to play whatever that song is while we draw it.
That would be amazing. That would be good. Well, we can... I mean, you can't, because your screen...
I'll play 15 seconds of it.
Yeah. I think even that, because, like, the one episode where we used my music, but we had played, like, a little bit of Kids Bop, like, that episode got flagged.
Alright, so the song... Let's see. Of course, I believe the song is called Playing with the Boys. It's by Kenny Loggins, which he does like the entire soundtrack basically.
Yeah, he really does.
I really want to listen to it, but we'll probably get blocked, won't we?
What was that?
No, that's Whitney Houston.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying he doesn't do that song, but that song is part of that soundtrack. I'm pretty sure.
Really? Is
They
it?
they dance to some song that's very similar in vibe to that song in the diner after Goose dies. I'm pretty sure.
It's been a while since I've seen Top Gun.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But now I've stopped. We'll switch roles for once. You can color while I look
Okay.
up Top Gun instead of the opposite.
Excellent. And if anybody wants to apply for the job as engineer, and they can do all the Googling for us and handle the sound and everything else, we're not hiring. I don't know where you got that information from, but get out of here.
It's been a while since I saw it. So it's when they're at the bar, you said?
Yeah, it's like a bar, like that's for some reason no one else is in there.
Is it You've Lost That Love and Feeling? Because
That sounds about.
that's Righteous Brothers. That's not even close.
Well, it's a shame we can't play the song just to hear how horribly off base I am and you know.
I do want to
remembering
listen to
music.
Playing with the Boys because it sounds great. All right, but I won't because that would make
imagine-
your half of the job difficult as the one who does the YouTube stuff.
It's never been difficult. YouTube, we don't even have to YouTube doesn't even censor the audio when we do it. They just say hey, we're gonna give any ad money to the guys who made the song, and I'm like, fucking go right ahead, YouTube. I don't make money off this shit anyway.
If it were me, I would just do my own thing and say I don't care, cause I don't care if
Because I get my money on Patreon or however the hell people on YouTube or through.
because I do this for the love of the game.
Yeah. Do you? Wait, really? Oh.
Why do you do it?
I was hoping to make max $1 million off.
Have you been making any money yet?
No.
Oh, thank
The
God.
slow burn, man. It's the slow burn, you know? Right?
Well, you know, yeah, it's the slow burn.
Very convincing.
Convincing argument.
All right, now roll a d20 to see if you convince Ian. Because you did
You
a
rolled
poor
a
job,
negative
I'm gonna
1.
say- oof. I was gonna have to say because you did a poor job, you're gonna have to roll a high number, but you didn't even come close.
Oh, I like that ocean in the background. That's
Oh,
nice.
thank you. Thank you.
What have you been working on lately?
So this week I was mostly focusing on just getting myself comfy and settled in.
I get it.
Today, I mean, I did a D&D session with my friends on
How'd that go?
Saturday, which was a lot of fun.
Good. I'm happy because you were worried a little bit about that going smoothly.
Oh yeah, so get this, I set up the D&D thing, to be what I expected would be a 2-hour long session.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like that's a happy medium. Obviously
so.
the best D&D sessions are the ones that go 4 hours.
But you also,
But,
want kind of, I think, a happy medium. So, if people are getting ready to be done.
Yeah. 2 hours is a solid, that's why we do our show for 2 hours. It's just a good span of time to do something and get a little sick of doing it before you're really tired of doing it. We ran for 2 hours, and then I set it up so they were gonna have to go from here to here to here to do this thing. But we never even left the first area, so I have 3.
That's awesome. That's great news.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna have to do a lot more preparation for the next session. I can just keep doing what I got so far, and they're still probably gonna have a little bit left to do by the time we get on to the 3rd session. So I think I managed to space things out a decent amount, so I feel good about that.
Well done. Well done. I would love to play one day. I'll let you do this first one first, but I might join the next time
Oh,
around.
yeah, for sure. We'd love to have you. I mean, you can always do guests.
Are you guys doing it
Critical
online?
Role does guest episodes and things like that.
Well, I guess you have to do it online because
Austin lives even further away from you than I do now.
Yeah, Austin's in Chicago. 3 of the players, I believe, are in New York City.
It's
And,
kind of cool what the internet makes possible.
I know, right? Hell, we wouldn't even be friends if it weren't for the internet, which
True.
is insane if you think about it.
it's insane. That's why I choose not to think about it. I'd probably
Start bleeding from the ears.
You kind of lose your sanity, you
Like
just
what?
stared upon
No.
Alfred's being.
no.
What the? Oh my God! I've seen the true face of God, and I am unable to mentally comprehend.
I would have all these memories of us making things and doing the show and playing games together, and all of a sudden I'd wake up in bed next to my wife, and she'd be like, "You were dreaming again." They'd be like, "My God, Diane, it was horrible."
That was bad.
It was a nightmare.
You kept saying Christmas lights over and over again.
I like that you did a quick deep dive, and that's the inside joke that was the first to go. That's a good one.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate it. For the folks who I feel like we have to explain the inside joke.
Go for it, yeah.
Yeah, so whenever you're playing Borderlands, if you like kill a boss and they drop like a bunch of loot, like all the loot's like ranked. Gold is like has like its own beam, and then like all the equipment and stuff. So like just pops out like a bunch of Christmas lights at the dude. So that's what we call it whenever there's a huge loot drop in pretty much any game now, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, we start out.
It seems to be a common way of illustrating the stuff. So.
One of them loot shooters.
I love a loot shooter.
I love a loot shooter. Actually, so me saying loot shooter like that just makes me think of soup shooters, which are.
I've never heard of those.
Oh man. So basically, like when I was working in the restaurant, we would be giving out hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that. And let me just tell you right now, I hated fucking doing hors d'oeuvres.
Unfortunately, don't really like have those.
Well, you
Unless you're talking about like appetizers or.
Oh no, like
different.
like we were doing like catering events and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
we don't do catering events, so.
Oh, I see.
Lucky there.
No, yeah, like we
I know
we
what
would cater
orders are,
events, and we'd have to like pass. What the fuck? I cannot get this eyedropper to grab this color. There
Just
we
grab
go.
it.
Hell. Grab it with both hands. Firmly grasp it.
Don't let
No,
go.
but,
I just started watching SpongeBob again last night, actually.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna make my way through. But sorry to interrupt. Anyways, go ahead.
That's okay. I was getting interrupted by DrawPile not doing the third one, but yeah. So we'd have to go around doing plates of hors d'oeuvres, and doing hors d'oeuvres during events was just my least favorite thing, because like you'd walk around, and basically what you have to do is, if you see anybody having a conversation, you have to just butt into it and be like, "Does anyone want a bacon wrapped almond stuffed date?" And then they'll be like,
no.
Most people would just say, "No, thank you, I'm good." And then you're like, "Okay, moving on." And then like you go around the whole room and then ask them like if they want the hors d'oeuvres, and like maybe 4 people pick the food off of a tray of 6. And then you go back inside and you're just like to your general manager, you're like, "I'm sorry, I tried, no one wanted the things." And they're just like, "Well, we have 12 trays of hors d'oeuvres and we need to get all of them. So I need to go back out there and ask people again." And it's just like, I just talked to them. Like they all said no. Like, and it was basically like a matter of just going out there and constantly like walking up to people, be like, "Hey, do you feel bad enough to eat these hors d'oeuvres off of my tray so I can go the fuck back into the room and get?"
I go all for hors d'oeuvres when I see them. I've only been to a few events that have them, but I
oh my God,
eat
yeah.
them. So I would be somebody.
Master.
If you were that server, I would make your life easy. I would be the guy to eat your quota, and then you can go back
You were
and be
my
like,
favorite type of
"I
people to
did
be at
it!
events.
They sold!" And they'd be like, "Great job, Ian." And then just be one guy who like was like, "Give me that tray." And you go. I'd just
You
hold
were the
on to
kind
the
of
tray.
person I would
I'd
love
throw it
to-
under a table later. No one would know.
Oh yeah. Our last line of defense was just like setting the plate down and being like, "Okay, we tried. There it is. Have at it."
Right. Doesn't seem
Yeah,
like
it was.
that, yeah.
So yeah, one of the hors d'oeuvres we had to serve was soup shooters, which you would have a tray full of shot glasses, and people would
Filled
be like,
with
"Ooh,
soup.
alcohol!" And you're like, "No, no, no, no. This is a hot soup in a shot
It's
glass."
chunky chicken noodle, and they're like, "Ew." And you're like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I know. Look, I
Yeah.
understand why you're repulsed, but do you want one?"
Yeah, the orange ones are spaghetti squash soup.
You have to drink it like a alcoholic.
Yeah.
We got
But you're
Captain
really
Sheepy here.
Are you thirsty? Because this will make you more so.
Captain Sheepy says it's the headless bombers from Serious Sam, and I can definitely see that. Yeah. There's a new one coming out soon, right?
There is, yeah. And I've seen some of the stats that they're throwing out for that, and they are pretty, like, Serious Sam has always been about excess, but
Right.
like some of these stats I'm reading are, I'm just like, why do you need that? Like,
Oh.
like
give
I
me
mean,
some
I'm not
examples.
mad.
No,
It's
I know,
just, like,
but I'm
I feel
curious.
bad for the developers. Like they're saying like some of the maps are like 2,000 square kilometers or some shit like
Whoa.
that, and they're throwing out like 10,000 enemies on the screen at once.
And for a game that's like not like AAA either, like why?
Yeah.
I mean that's cool. I'm going to buy it and enjoy it, but
Yeah, same here.
I feel like we have to. That's our first intro into streaming.
Oh yeah, that's right. That little us playing with Serious Sam, me as Elvis, you as Santa Claus,
That's right. Forgot about that detail.
talking about saving Christmas. Good times.
Elvis and Santa Save Christmas. The special that needed to happen, but it never did, so we made it ourselves.
That's right. Santa has never saved Christmas before, but we finally have.
He's
done
like, I save it every year. What the fuck?
it. What the fuck are you guys talking about? These pieces of shit. I'm gonna call them.
I did it plenty of times without Elvis. This is bullshit.
This is some fucking bullshit. I'm gonna call these assholes right now and give them a kick right in the fucking ass. Santa
Alright, we
Claus
have
just being a.
to make sure all these characters are extra oily.
Good point. I'm gonna get started on that right away.
Can't play
Playing with
volleyball
boys.
without oiling up.
Especially not with the boys.
Exactly. I should watch Top Gun again. It's been a while. I don't really watch it. I found with like the way streaming is these days, I don't watch as many movies as I used to,
It's mostly TV shows now,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, same here.
which is kind of sad, but also I
yeah.
get it.
I just in general, there's just so much stuff to watch nowadays. Like half the
I'm
time
always
I'm
trying
just
to
like,
watch something
I don't
new.
wanna... Yeah, or I don't want to pay attention to like. Sometimes I just like, I don't want to pay attention to a thing, but I do want to kill time. So like I'll put on like a TV show that like you don't have to think about or something like or since I moved in with my parents, what I've been watching is the new Netflix Mystery Science Theaters that they put up.
Oh yeah, I like those.
Yeah, I like them. It's good. I mean, I love a good Mystery Science
It
Theater.
feels like the classics.
Yeah, it does, and it's funny, and I also don't have to pay because like it's them watching a bad movie, so like I don't need to pay attention to it one bit, and I don't know. I kind of enjoy. I don't know. I need to either switch my brain around or something like that, because like if I start watching a show that I like actually have to like care about, I'm just like, oh, what is this effort I have to take now? Ooh.
I like to pay attention, but I will say like most of the times, every night I'm like, Morgan, would you like to watch a TV show or a movie? And she's like, well, I have to be to bed in an hour, so let's watch a show, and then we watch 4 episodes of an hour-long show. So
Right.
it
Which
doesn't
is like-
actually add, yeah, it's like 4 hours. It doesn't add up, but it's just the way our brains work. We're like, well, TV's shorter. It's like, not really.
Yeah.
You'd be done with the movie way quicker.
It's less of a commitment if I
I'll-
watch the thing.
I like your foreground body, that like the perspective. That's good.
Oh, thank you. I felt like you drew 3 guys on their team, and I had 1 guy on this team. I feel like we needed to even the teams out a
Mhm.
little bit at least.
It was on fair.
It was an unfair advantage. It was a handicap match.
Yeah. So how you been spending your time? Hanging outside?
I've been doing a lot of hanging outside. I've been reading a little bit, which is good because I wanted to get back into doing that. I've been drunk a lot. Yeah, aside from that, I just hanging out, getting work done, and hanging out with the family when I'm not.
Cool. Yeah, I've been back to
Yeah.
work now, so and we're like really busy because like half our staff hasn't come back yet. And, I don't know. People
How's
are super amped to be able to go out to eat and get sick, so a lot of people are
Yeah.
rolling in.
Jesus, how are you feeling about all that? You still comfortable with the situation?
I'm uncomfortable, but I don't know. I have to do it to pay for my bills. So there I am. I'm wearing a mask and doing my best to wash my hands every chance I get, and that's that.
Yeah, thanks United States government for throwing us to the wolves. Really
Yeah.
fucking appreciate it.
Until the next shutdown, I suppose.
Yeah, which is gonna be probably any day now because the cases just keep
They
rising.
keep rising. Michigan's pretty good right now, but only for so long
That's good.
because it's not like we close borders or anything. So
Yeah, I just read that like Allegheny County in Pennsylvania just had like a huge uptick in cases, and I think that's on the other side of the state, like 4 miles of driving away.
Uh-huh.
But let's find out.
United States right now is at about a few thousand cases less than the absolute peak of when things were the worst they were.
Oh, cool. That's
I
good.
just read that.
We should definitely stay open.
Michigan's doing pretty good though, for now. So I guess if I'm gonna be out there, now's the time. And then
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully everybody's not too scared to do the right thing and shut down again when time comes.
I hope
Because
so.
I don't want to be like, well, people were so mad at us last time, so we don't want to do it again.
Yeah, we were fucking mad because y'all didn't give us any money.
No, I'm saying like, well, yeah,
Oh,
there was that,
also
but there was also the people that were just mad because they're like, what? I can't go to the movie theaters, Applebee's.
But it's one of those things again though, where like the people who were protesting, like we're definitely the minority. Like it was
Yes.
like
Yes, they were.
when the polls were coming out, they were like, "Hey, do you think we should open up?" And it was like 20% of people thought we should open up. And
But
it's
they're
like,
real loud.
They were loud and they had guns and they were.
They're
storming
good at
government
making
buildings.
themselves look like the majority.
Yeah.
Like every
the guns
comment
definitely
section
do
you
that.
go into, they definitely are the majority there. But who goes into comment sections besides crazy people and me
Right, yeah.
with anxiety to read all that stuff and get a misproportionate idea of the people in the world?
Yeah, I stay away from comment sections and news sites. I don't remember what it was that officially told me to stay away, but I remember reading one.
I know to stay away, but I don't because
Anxiety.
I just want to like hurt myself or something. I'm a masochist, so I lure.
Well, that's why I check Twitter, is for that exact reason. I'm like, do I want to be mad at the world right now? Better check Twitter.
I just like to trash talk strangers, so that's why I go to comment sections. I'm like, man, the only people here are crazy people and me. It's like, well, maybe we're all crazy. It's the ultimate message.
I don't know why you're separating yourself from
Yeah,
crazy
it's,
people. In there.
it's like I am here too, so maybe that's something to say about me. I need to just stop going there.
You should. You absolutely should.
I read an article and then I see 100 comments, and I'm like, well, just take a peek, and then
What's
I
the
don't
common
sleep for
claim you're
weeks.
saying about this?
All right, you good with this drawing?
I'd say I'm pretty solid on it.
Okay. What was that song called? For the Boys?
Playing with the boys, wasn't it?
That's what I'm gonna title this drawing.
Nice, I love it. Alright, you do that. I'm gonna be right back, and then we will continue this session as we were, alright?
All right.
I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
How are all you fine folk in the chat doing? Now do the part where I pretend to wait for your answers, even though no one's there. You don't say. You don't say. None of you say. You don't say. Great. Oh. Hey! Captain Chibi is quite fine. Well, that's great news. Good to see you, by the way. I know it's been a few weeks.
Alrighty, I am back.
Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Do you feel
So,
welcomed?
I feel very welcomed. I feel like I was given. I feel like that scene in Cheers, which is in every episode of Cheers, when they walk in and they're like, "Norm."
People yell Norm when you enter places.
They have, and I've been so confused. I'm like, you guys.
It's
you have the
Ian,
wrong guy.
guys.
This is,
Like-
my name is Ian.
It's Ian. Norm! No, I just said,
No.
like, you're not listening.
No, this is all wrong, everybody. I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna re-enter, and we're all gonna try it again. And then they don't even say anything
Then when you come back,
re-enter.
the place has been closed for 50 years, and there's just skeletons sitting on bar stools.
Yeah, and there's one skeleton who's got a mop standing in like a spot of light.
And you're like, oh my god.
Goodness gracious. I waited too long. I should have come back through the door sooner.
I was doing something like it was a haunted bar, but that works too.
I started watching What We Do in the Shadows season 2 with the fam.
I still need to finish season 1. I haven't finished it.
Oh, it's so good, and I
think I was the one who told you about it, but I still haven't finished it.
I know, right? Like, we've switched places. I'm also trying to draw Ted Danson right now, so just to give you a heads up, this is gonna be me practicing representation of a human being.
Name another character from the show, and I'll draw him.
Frasier.
Let's go back to that.
But yeah, season 1 is great. I love it. You should definitely finish it.
Yeah.
Season 2 has started. I've only seen 1 episode of season 2 so far, but it's already fantastic. I'm very excited for the rest of the season.
I'll have to watch it.
Haley Joel Osment's in the first episode.
Oh, good.
He does a great job.
He's been doing a lot of stuff lately, or like some stuff lately, and I've been liking it all. It's really good.
Ever since Comedy Bang Bang, he's been on the up and up.
He has quite a big role in Future Man, which is this like I think it's a Hulu exclusive show, but
yeah, they've advertised that a lot on Hulu, where they were for a while.
Yeah, they were, and then I think it got canceled, but I think there's still one more season coming before the end. I don't really know, but
yeah,
I liked it. It's dumb, but it's fun.
Yeah, it looked interesting, but like not something I was gonna rush to go check out.
Yeah, I watched it like a year ago.
Yeah, Haley Joel Osment was in the Ted Bundy movie.
Really?
Yeah, he was. So Allison Brie is like Ted Bundy's first wife that like he's married to when he goes to prison, and then
that was the one where they're trying to make like Ted Bundy like a sexy cool guy.
Yeah, because they have Zach.
Or at least the trailer made it seem that way, which is maybe the movie doesn't, but
the movie is a little bit more respectful about all of it. Cause
the trailer was like, "What the fuck are you trying to make here?"
No, the movie. Well, the thing is, it's hard to say because Ted Bundy.
He actually had that kind of
charismatic. He was a good-looking dude. He was a Republican, which I think. Well, let's not get into politics, but
yeah, this episode was not. Not like all the other episodes.
Yeah, where we talk seriously about abolishing the police, but no, but so like yeah, Ted Bundy was like he was very charismatic and he was an attractive dude. So like that was like what he used to like help get his victims.
And even at the time, people like were like, "Oh, he's so cute" when he was in court. And then like he had the movie came out and that he had that documentary come out like half a year ago, and people were doing the same thing again. They're like, "What a handsome!" It's like we already know he's a murderer now. You don't have to.
Yeah.
The people back then were doing it because.
It was
because they didn't know yet, and it was just like, well, how could such a beautiful man kill people? Now it's like, no, he's confirmed killer, and people are still like, what a handsome man.
Yeah. In the movie, I didn't see the whole movie because my ex was watching it, and I would just kind of be in the room doing stuff as she was watching it. But from what I saw in the movie, it's pretty solid. I mean, the parts that I saw, like, I didn't feel like Ted Bundy was anything other than a piece of shit. Like, they really played up him being a piece of shit in the movie, at least towards the second half of it. Like, but it also, like, I've seen, like, we watched, when I was with my ex, like, she was very into true crime and things like that. So, like, we watched the Ted Bundy documentary, like, before, because, like, how it worked is, I think, they were coming out with the Zac Efron thing.
It was the same director, I think, right?
What was that?
Wasn't it like the same director, or no?
Oh, I didn't know about that. I just knew that they did the Zac Efron movie, and then like the Ted Bundy documentary came out. Like, it's like how it's like clout chasing, you know? Like movies do that all the time. It's like the Fire Festival documentaries that came out around the same time.
Yeah.
It's like how Bug's Life and Ants came out around the same time.
You know how Ants were really popular in the early 2000s?
Was Ants really popular in the early 2000s?
No, I'm just saying, like, the fact that they made two of them at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
You know how kids were obsessed with ants?
Bugs and creepy crawlies.
And so they were like, let's make both these at the same time.
Yep. And although the timing of those is, I remember reading a thing that basically confirmed that they started Ants after A Bug's Life, but like technically production for Ants started, or Ants was released before or something like that. I don't know, something
That's
like
weird.
that. But anyways, yeah. But the point is, the documentary and the movie were kind of like competing things, or it's like there's another. Oh yeah, Foxcatcher. When Foxcatcher the movie was put on Netflix, the one with Steve Carell and Mark Ruffalo and Channing Tatum. That won all the awards. When the movie came to Netflix, the documentary came out too. So I actually do want to actually discuss the Foxcatcher thing because I have something about that bugs me. But just so I don't end up starting one subject and moving on to another, I watched the Ted Bundy documentary, and then like what they showed from the Zac Efron movie was pretty accurate.
Okay.
Like
cool.
they even like straight like the that speech that the judge gives Ted Bundy where he kind of like gives him the sentencing. He's just like, I think you're a fine young man, but you're also a murderer, so you should go to jail forever. And I hope that the sun smiles on you, and etc. etc.
I think you're, as far as murders go, you're a pretty upstanding man, and I wish you were my son.
Yeah, basically, yeah. He kind of gives him that whole speech. So like John Malkovich, who plays that judge, gives that exact speech verbatim in the movie. Which one can argue the usefulness of doing that, but I guess if you don't want to watch the documentary, then it makes sense. I mean,
just there's certain, I like certain, when, if you're making something historical, when certain things mirror real life, that's cool.
Yeah, well, it fits. Like, I feel like it makes sense for that movie if they're trying to tell the story of Ted Bundy to be as accurate as possible, so they don't have, like, because of the subject matter especially, so they don't seem like they're,
glorifying him?
You know, exactly. So in that movie, it makes sense to do that. Like I guess I'm thinking of like The Room, how it makes no sense for them to just like redo parts of the scenes from The Room,
Right.
You know, or the
It's
Disaster
like, let's see
Artist.
how close we can match it. And it's like, why though?
Yeah, for the Ted Bundy movie, that's like a dramatization. Like since you
Yeah, if you're doing something from life, that's different.
I mean, I know the movie technically in Disaster Artist, you could argue that they're doing something from life, but
it's different because both people are making a movie. It's not historical in that sense. Yeah,
so the Ted Bundy Zac Efron movie, I felt like it was solid from what I saw.
Okay.
I didn't see all of it, but like I also, first of all, Zac Efron's just an impressive actor. Like,
oh, I know. I have no hate for him.
Yeah,
This is a good job.
yeah. I got no other note to really end on. I thought the Ted Bundy movie was alright.
Also, check it out. We were gonna watch it because we liked the documentary. We just never
got around to it.
So.
Yeah. Oh, but Haley Joel Osment plays Alison Brie. She plays, or is that her name? Shit, the girl from Community.
Alison Brie.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Love of my life.
I know.
But she plays Ted Bundy's first wife, who when he goes to jail, like they get divorced eventually. And then Haley Joel Osment plays her next husband, who's kind of just like her emotional support and keeps telling her like, forget about him. He's in jail now. He's a horrible man. And that's kind of his role. But he does a good job in that movie, and he does a great job in What We Do in the Shadows. You know, he was a good actor as a kid. He's still doing a good job acting.
Yeah. Good for him to like
take time off.
I feel like that's important for child actors. Like, don't feel like this is your career
Decided when you're a child, no matter how famous you are. Like, decide if this is actually something you want to do.
I get the sense that he's actually doing it right now because he wants to be, and not because.
Oh, definitely. I mean, well, now he's like 40, so
yeah.
So like, obviously he's doing it because he wants to. But I feel like a lot of times kids are like, if you're riding that fame, you know, before you're even an adult, you're already like have a path decided for you. A lot of people are like, well, why'd they leave acting? And it's like, well, they didn't choose to get into acting to begin with.
Yeah,
it was their
they were a
parents.
child. It's like, how did you ever want to play soccer as a kid? Like, you probably enjoyed soccer, but you didn't ever.
Do you want to be a soccer player for
my
life?
Saturdays not playing Sega.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like he seems by far like one of the most well-adjusted child actors, and whatever he did to do it, which it seems like taking a break was a big part of it. Good for him, and I just hope, when it comes to kid actors, I just fucking every time I'm just like, please just have a normal fucking life when you can.
Macaulay Culkin seems to be doing better now. Seems like a normal human.
Yeah,
I've seen him do some stuff lately.
he seems to be doing all right. He seems like a cool guy, as far as I know. I mean, I don't know if there's anything creepy going on, but behind the scenes.
But he was like, I know he was
seems-
in drugs for a while, but now he's like clean, and he's like
Yeah.
does interviews and stuff. He's on Red Letter Media all the time now.
Is he
hangs
really?
out with
Okay,
those guys
cool.
every once in a while. But he's like he has some like charity that he like spends most of his time. I'm assuming he's good on money.
I have to assume. Oh,
And-
his brother's earning money too. So
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure
yeah. His brother has his own career. Or I mean, unless his parents stole it all, which was part of the issue back in the day.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty good on money, and he seems to have some charity he's usually involved in, and he seems pretty healthy these days. So that's good.
Well, good. I'm glad. I just hope nothing but the best for all those kids who got put up with that shit. That just
Yeah. You have like Drew Barrymore, who's doing like cocaine at like 12, and now seems pretty good too.
yeah. The plus side about being famous when you're young is that money buys probably some of the best therapy that money can get you.
Right.
But they still it's not
You have
great.
to get to
for-
that point
Yeah,
of like.
it's not. It's fucked up. This one
It'd be
podcast
weird to
I
like
listened to.
put your child in that spot.
Yeah, like if it's a kid who like is like I don't know. As a kid, I could see myself being like my parents being like, "Hey, do you want to be in a movie?" I could see myself being like, "Fuck yeah, I want to be in a movie."
Yeah, I would
But,
also
like-
feel that way, but you have to also still be a parent, even as the checks are rolling in, and like look for
Yes.
bad situations and be like, okay, my kid loves this, I love this, to be totally honest.
I'm
'cause-
not gonna let them
well,
go back
but
scenes
this
with Roman
seems-
Polanski.
yeah, this seems like a bad situation as a parent, try and take care of their kid.
Yeah.
And like that's the stuff you have to, don't be blinded by the paychecks
Mm-hmm.
and try to make good decisions. Well, also if your kid enjoys it, that's great too. But just don't be blinded by
Don't be blinded by the light. Wrapped up.
revved up like a douche, rolling in the night. It's probably how the lyrics go, something like that.
Something like that. Wrapped up like a douche.
I think it's revved up like a deuce is the real lyrics.
Yeah, I believe so, which makes actually less sense to me than wrapped up like a douche. So
I think it's
just go
something to do
with
with a car.
Yeah, sounds. Well, if it's car shit though, I'm not gonna know.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to explain to you.
Miss me with that car shit.
How's your Ted Dancing coming along?
I'm pretty much done with it.
I'm almost done with my Fraser Crane.
Excellent. I mentioned that I wanted to talk about Foxcatcher.
Okay, let's talk.
So, the Foxcatcher movie stars Steve Carell as the guy who does the murders eventually.
Is that about the coach?
Yes.
I haven't
It's
seen it.
about,
I didn't even know he murdered. I didn't know what it's about, really, honestly.
Is it okay if I spoil
Spoil
the
away.
events of this true historical event?
Spoil
Alright,
away.
it's not even-
Is it a good movie?
So
Should I
anyways-
watch it?
Here's the thing. I'm actually bugged out by the movie after watching the
All
documentary.
right, I'll let you
so-
describe it first, and then I'll ask questions after, in case that
So
was
just to go
part of
over-
what you want to talk about.
Okay, so just to go over general plot. Foxcatcher is this kid is a drummer, and H.K. Simmons is his band teacher. No, I'm kidding. That's
I was gonna say, wait a minute. You should have seen my face over here. I was like having an existential crisis. I'm like, that's Foxcatcher?
those movies came out at and were like big at the same time though. Like feel
Really? I
like
thought
that-
Foxcatcher was like at least 5 years after whatever the other one's called.
I feel like I gotta look this up now.
Look
What,
it up.
what was that movie called? Like
Um,
Push or
No. Just look up J.K. Simmons. I still haven't seen that one either, but I hear it's great.
H.K. Simmons? I call him H.K. Simmons.
J.K. I love J.K. Simmons. He's awesome.
I watched. Yeah, he's such a great actor. I
love him in Portal.
I went to I went to a concert, and then I went with the bandmates back to the one's house to smoke weed the one time, and I walked in the room, and they were watching this movie, the drummer.
I thought you were about to
movie,
say
and they were
J.K.
just-
Simmons was in there.
Oh, I wish that'd been so great. to smoke weed with J.K. Simmons. So I walk in and they're watching that drummer movie, and they're just like, "This movie's fucking stupid. This kid's already going to the fucking Whiplash. That's the movie.
Whiplash.
It came out the same year as Foxcatcher.
Really? Oh man.
That 2014.
I was so confident.
That one I just remember being inundated with like both all over like TV and things like that. People were going like Foxcatcher, Whiplash, check them out. Anyways, so yeah, the actual musicians who I saw were watching the movie were really annoyed by how inaccurate Whiplash was. But
It's based on a true story.
What was that?
Based on true story, Whiplash.
Is Whiplash based on a true story?
Because like what?
I feel like
what,
it got so
what do
many
you mean
awards
by
it had to have been.
not accurate?
Drama film. It depicts.
I don't think it's a true story.
Yeah, it's not real.
Well, then
Based
what
on
part's
Whiplash by
inaccurate?
Damien Chazelle. Based on a book, at least.
Okay.
So, anyways, Foxcatcher is based on a real thing, though. So, Foxcatcher it's a wrestling. It's a guy
Yes.
who's like really into wrestling.
I know
and
about
not
that
like
one.
the fun wrestling, like WWE. It's like
The high school version.
yeah, it's like you have to like.
Tin
I
people.
don't even know how the rule. Yeah, it's.
It's
anyway,
something like
so-
I think you have to keep. I think I just read this year and I'm like, oh, I understand wrestling for the first time in my life. Yeah, I think the goal is to just get their shoulders both have to be touching the mat for like a number of seconds to get a pin.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because that's how they do all those confusing ones with your legs in the air in the WWE
Yeah.
wrestling.
So as long as both shoulders are on the thing.
Yeah, doing the Greek shit though. So
Yeah.
this
They don't do
guy
it nude,
is
though.
like, he's like older and he's kind of eccentric and he has a lot of money, I think, from his parents. So like he gets super into wrestling as just like an old guy, and like he starts hanging out with like a bunch of wrestlers and like adult wrestlers in like this league or whatever who are like working to get to the Olympics. So he starts like he builds like a training center for these like it's like a campground of training for like wrestling for his like new buddies who are like trying to get into the Olympics. So but he's always been kind of off, and you know they don't really ever get to the bottom of what it is that made him so not like
Normal.
all together. But he was like, he was like they in the documentary they'd say like, oh, this guy he would sometimes say shit that was really out of line, and you'd be like, whoa, okay, let's scale back. So anyways,
Hey, you shouldn't say that, but still, you can coach my kids.
yeah, well, he's not coaching kids. It's like a group of 30-year-old.
Oh, I always thought it was like high school teachers or high school coaches.
No.
College
These are like
or something.
Olympic.
Oh,
these
I
are, like,
gotcha.
Olympic dudes, or
Right.
if they're supposed to be Olympic dudes, like the documentary made it seem like they were in like their 30s, and the movie was played by Channing Tatum and Mark Ruffalo.
Okay,
so, like,
I've never
those
seen the
dudes-
movie. I just
But it's adult men at least, or for the most part. So this dude, now to start talking about where the movie differs from the book. And I remember looking into this to see if I just missed something, and I'm gonna have to check again to verify, but I'm pretty confident that the movie with Mark Ruffalo and Channing Tatum, Channing Tatum's character was invented entirely out of thin air, which is weird because it's the movie about like a real murder that happened.
right.
So how
Maybe they
how
just
it
really
goes-
wanted him to be in the movie.
What was that?
Maybe they just really wanted Channing Tatum to be in the movie.
I think so. Well, I think what happened was they wanted, like, Mark Ruffalo looks closer to the guy who ended up getting murdered, but they also probably wanted to have Channing Tatum do all the wrestling, so they figured, well, we'll just invent a brother for this guy. So it's really weird because, yeah, like, the guy who, like, it's like a group of friends who are in this training camp, and then, like, the older guy who's, like...
Draw
like a
people
friend.
wrestling while you're talking.
What was that?
I said draw people wrestling while you're talking.
Oh, yeah, it's a good idea.
Trying to help
I was
you.
like, I don't know what to draw after Ted Danson.
How's my Fraser Crane coming along?
He is looking more and
Pretty-
more like Frasier.
Pretty Fraser-ish is the best I can do.
Hey, look, we're not the greatest at drawing.
I am the greatest. This is
I'm
Fraser.
number one. I'm the best.
Everyone who's ever seen this drawing would know that it's Fraser.
Actually, we should do that as a challenge someday. We should just like
Draw and be like, who is this?
Exactly.
And then if people can guess it, we owe each other money.
I love that idea. Doing the
All
dollar
right,
bets.
we're gonna do that later in the
cool.
show.
That's the next. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I
Maybe
love it.
not today, but in a different episode we have people watching.
Yeah. Absolutely. So that would be a fun game to play.
Yeah.
I like the idea of putting just dollars on the bets because I can definitely afford that, and
Yeah.
I like to gamble.
And if you can't afford it, once we go off the air, we can just lie and you don't have to pay me anything, or vice
Yeah.
versa.
Very true. Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. I really don't have $5 today.
We can be like Mr. Beast, which I don't think he actually gives his friends $1 million every episode, but maybe he does.
I
ever seen
mean,
that?
I don't think he gives his friend like the ones where he gives the money out.
He's like $10,000 if you can play hide and seek, and it's like, is he doing that every week, really, or is they just
Well,
they
probably
on
just
like
say,
a
like, okay,
salary, and then
you get.
that's good TV.
Yeah, I think that
He would do it with strangers all the time if he was actually giving away that money, but
Yeah.
but it's still it's interesting to watch sometimes.
Yeah, it's compelling stuff.
and
especially
they're
if you
and
gotta
they're
have-
they're like fun to watch. People, I haven't seen a lot of their stuff, but like, I'm not trying to just shit on them. I'm just saying
Oh no,
what
yeah.
crazy person.
I know you don't
would
like
give-
Mr. Beast's voice.
Oh yeah, I did say that once, didn't I?
Yeah. To be fair, he is pretty nasal.
Well, you know, that's a rough critique. Nobody, what you can't. The one thing you can't fix.
Yeah. No, I mean it's fine. He seems like a good dude,
He does seem like a good
Yeah.
dude.
and I appreciate like all the like and
And they give
no
lots of
one's-
charity and stuff, so that's cool.
Yeah. And that's pretty much why I started watching it, is because I was just like, okay, if you're giving shit
Yeah,
charity,
I've been watching some of his stuff lately. I never really did before. Last time we talked about it, I didn't really much. So yeah, if I say anything mean, I don't recall it, but I take it back.
It's alright. It's good, feel good, wholesome content. And
Right,
That's what
exactly.
I enjoy about his stuff. But yeah, the Foxcatcher movie. So I don't know. I don't remember a whole lot about like the events, but I think basically like in Foxcatcher, they do the training for a while, and then just the one day the guy shoots the other guy,
Oh.
and then like their friends are just like, "What the fuck, man? Did you just shoot Derek or whoever?"
It's
And
interesting
then-
for there to be a discussion after. Usually
Well-
it's like, oh fuck, and everybody runs. It's not like,
Well,
"What,
he
did
wasn't
you
around."
just shoot him?
Like they were. The timing is weird because I don't think anyone was around. They just
When the
like ended up
shooting
finding
happened.
his dead body, and then the other guy was just like,
Got
"I
it,
did
okay.
it." I don't know the timing. It's been like a while since I've seen.
Sorry if I'm like interrupting you. I feel like this is the
Oh.
usual dynamic. I interrupt you and ask questions as you're describing something.
Hey, if you don't interrupt me, then it's just me like.
Then I
blabbing
might as well
for
just log
50
off.
minutes. Then it's just me yakking for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the timing of everything, but I just know that eventually Steve Carell shoots Mark Ruffalo, and then everyone else eventually finds the body, and they're just like, did Derek just shoot David or whatever? And then the guy gets arrested, and it does not. I think he shoots himself or something. Like, he's not around to tell the story. But so yeah, Foxcatcher is about that random murder that happens, and the movie's all right, but then you're just kind of like, okay, so then he just kills Mark Ruffalo, and that's it. That's weird. Because it's just about as random in the movie as it was in real life.
I
and that's
suppose
the
if
horrible thing
it's
is-
a story about something that actually happened, there's not always resolution.
Yeah, it's like it was a kind of just a random occurrence because this dude maybe was in like a weird, like the dude who did the murder, again, like I don't know what his issue was, but just wasn't necessarily in the right state of mind, and that's when he did it. I think it was also about some kind of rivalry, like maybe he thought that Mark Ruffalo, in real life, the dude was like trying to usurp him as like, I don't know. It's been such a long time, and it's
Okay.
about like wrestling politics, which I know less
A lot
so than
about.
regular
Oh.
politics. But yeah, but the part that bugs me the most about the movie is like this was a real guy that got murdered, and to make the movie more compelling,
They added
invented-
sexy Channing Tatum.
you added a brother who. It's just such a
You're like,
confusing
sex
choice.
sells. We need to make this murder story a little more
Yeah.
interesting. Throw some abs in.
All right, we have 50 women in the room right now. Now, raise of hands. Who wants to fuck Mark Ruffalo from what you've seen in this movie so far? Nobody? Okay, interesting. All right. Now, what if we
shit.
put Channing Tatum in a jockstrap? Okay, I'm seeing a lot more hands.
Now you care about this murder? Great.
Cool.
Here's a card for free therapy. You all need
That's
it.
right.
And enjoy the movie this fall. Thanks for coming in.
Be sure to watch Foxcatcher this fall on Netflix. Or on movie theaters first, and then eventually on Netflix. Have you ever really dipped a toe into the true crime genre?
Occasionally. I'm not like some people that watch all the shows and stuff, but I like documentaries and stuff.
I like documentaries. Okay, so like, have you okay? So we've talked about. I don't think there's much to discuss about the Jinx anymore because we both pretty much said our thoughts on it. But if
Right.
folks haven't seen the Jinx, y'all should.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to think about if there's any other interesting true crime while we're on the subject, because I did watch a decent amount with my ex when we were living together. I'm just trying to think about.
It's pretty good Frasier. I'm happy with my Frasier.
I'm pretty happy. Well, my Ted Danson exists.
Just like real Ted Danson exists.
Exactly.
They're both just out there Ted Dansoning.
Yep.
Forever.
Ted Dansoning their hardest. This one isn't in blackface though, so you know. That's,
Was Ted Danson in blackface?
Yeah.
When?
I mean, back in
Like
like the
years?
90s, like I think he was dating Oprah Winfrey at the time, like where he was married to her, and like
Really?
she
What?
like she was.
I missed that
It's
detail.
confusing. I don't want to like. I don't know. It's weird shit. Like I don't know anything about it other than he did the blackface for a thing, and it was like part of a costume party or something like that. And yeah, I'm not gonna I'd have to read into it because I know like again he was like dating Oprah Winfrey or he was married to Oprah Winfrey at the time. So I don't even know, man. But I'm not touching that.
Fair enough.
Even in like a sense of like maybe it's all right because Oprah said it. Like I'm not broaching that subject unless I like. Actually, I'm just not. I'll
Yeah,
read about
maybe
it, but
we'll
I'm not
move
gonna-
past that.
That's a subject I feel like my opinion isn't needed on.
It appears. I won't get really into it, but just on some minor research, he did it at a roast of Whoopi Goldberg.
Okay. Who did I say? Did I say Whoopi Goldberg?
No, you said Oprah.
God damn it.
Because
Okay,
you can't tell the difference between two women of color. How dare you?
No, I just for some reason
I know,
Oprah,
I'm
Whoopi
joking.
Goldberg, Winfrey. I don't know.
I'm just picking on you. They're both, I mean, these days, they're both talk show host women.
Yeah, they were just very popular as a kid when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
I don't really hear about them anymore. Whoopi Goldberg plays a talk show host in The Tick.
And she's actually a talk show host now. I think she's on
Oh.
the Talk or the View or whatever spinoff of one of those ones.
I had to write a biography on Oprah Winfrey in elementary school, and let me tell you what, that lady has had a rough life.
Has she?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, she dealt with some shit as a kid. Moving on.
Sorry, I didn't respond. I left it like silent because I was typing out.
No, I see you saving the.
yeah,
I see
yeah.
you saving the picture, but
I'm gonna save it as Norm.
Yeah, please. But let's get off the topic of blackface for a little bit.
That's fair. I mean, we're not being offensive. We're just.
Yikes.
It's not like we said we were pro.
No, that's true.
We're
I'm
anti.
certainly not pro blackface. Yeah,
No,
definitely.
we're anti, so that's a safe place to be.
It's a safe side to
be like,
on.
hey, you know what?
Anti-
I know this is a bold statement, but I'm against
Yeah.
blackface.
Oh man, hot take right there. EricAndre.gif. How could you say something so brave yet so? What's the quote? And you know what I'm trying to reference.
Yeah, I do, but I don't know the quote offhand.
Yeah. I love Eric Andre show though. That's such a great show. Well, great's an interesting word to attach to that show. It's definitely a show that I love to watch.
Yeah, that's more fair. All right, I need.
That hot. I love the
Help me
new
clear these
Jeep
layers.
Spectacular. Okay, should we do?
Should we do?
Should we do a rock paper pencil? Kind of like really focus on one. Like I know we
Spend
got
the
like
last
an
hour on it. I'm okay with that. If we have a good
Okay.
theme.
Black. No.
The words were about to come out of my mouth, but I'm like, Ian will be mad at me if I make that joke.
Oh, sir, if only you knew. No, we should definitely not do blackface.
No, I will never.
White face. No, I'm gonna get off this topic.
I feel like that's most of the things we draw are white face.
Yeah. I do a lot of white
Let's
face.
draw Ted dancing.
Okay. I feel like I just did that.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Shoot.
Okay, how about the awesomest video game mod? Because you saw that video of like the Red Dead Redemption 2 mod that makes all the horses and animals like ginormous and like all the people insanely small.
Oh, I don't think so. That sounds great.
Oh yeah, it's like someone made a mod where I think that's just what it does. So like some of the screenshots are just absolutely insane looking because like all the animals are so photorealistic, and then
I'll have to watch
it's like
or check
it's
this out
just
real quick.
yeah. I highly recommend checking it out. And like the screenshots I saw from it, like that somebody took, were like particularly like nice.
Why is he riding all the different stuff? Is that it's part of the mods too? Well,
Yeah.
there's one where you can ride giant animals. So there's him riding like a giant cougar and a giant wolf, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
I want to buy it for PC just to mess with it, but I don't want to pay for it a second time.
How about for this rock paper pencil? The theme is riding a giant version of an animal that is not normally giant.
Okay. Did you see the PlayStation 5 announcement video?
I saw clips. I saw the new Crash Bandicoot design, which I think looks very nice. I just haven't paid attention to any video game reveals because it's all money.
That's totally fine. I was just curious if you saw it. This is funny to me because of how annoying it is. And literally the very first thing it's like PlayStation 5 thing starts now, and then all of a sudden the very first thing the Rockstar logo appears. And then they show the commercial for Grand Theft Auto 5. Because they're making it for PlayStation 5 again.
So pointless.
It's like, I know, but it's like, you're going to release it on 3 consoles? Isn't this game like 13 years old now? Like, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And
It's like every time they
there's
announce
so
a new
many
Skyrim.
reaction videos if you look them up on YouTube of people watching
Oh, yeah.
the announcement, and they're just like jumping up and down and throwing stuff around the room, and then all of a sudden like Michael comes on, like,
Oh,
and they're just like,
Christ.
they just sit down and they're like, what?
That's hilarious.
It's funny for the sake of like if there would have been a Skyrim announcement, same way that would have been funny, but
Yeah,
it's
like,
not funny
holy
because it's
shit.
dumb.
It's so dumb.
It's a little bit of both. While you're getting that title ready, I'm gonna get a beverage and then I'll be back.
Sounds good. How to do a fancy looking paper A. Ooh, I know. Ha ha ha. I'm so clever. Isn't this clever, guys and gals and anyone else? Guys and gals and all the pals. I've been playing Sims 2 Legacy Challenge, says Captain Sheepy. I'm about halfway through it almost. Ooh. Is that where you have like a single sim and you just kind of go through like generations and generations with like the whole family? Is that what a Legacy Challenge is? Because I love me some Sims, so I'm happy to talk about some Sims. Yeah, with a few tidbits. Interesting. So, I'm sure there's like rules where you have to do so and so, this and that. I know the one challenge my ex tried the one time was she did the Black Widow challenge, which is where you marry your sim and then at your wedding you hook up with the next sim and then you kill your husband and then move on and marry the next sim. And you have to do that 8 times, I believe, which makes it the Black Widow since it's like a spider with 8 legs. That's the main challenge I know the rules of, which is a very fun challenge. I've watched, when I was with my ex, we watched a lot of James, the Sim Supply channel on YouTube, so like he was always doing challenges. I liked it mostly because of his like house builds and things like that. 10 generations, all Sims aspirations are selected by a dice roll. 6 times 5 lot. Interesting. Oh, you have to stay on the. You can't move out of the house ever? I guess, yeah, the dimensions are different in Sims 2, I'm sure. Can't ever move out, but no, but sending Sims to college is allowed. Okay, that's fair. Oh yeah, and yeah, I never played. I actually had the Sims 2, but I never had any of the expansion packs for that one because that was like when that game came out. I was still a kid, and I was just like, these expansion packs, I don't feel like. Well, I just knew that there were so many expansion packs coming out that I didn't feel like ever asking my parents for, the expansion packs for The Sims 2 because it just was so much money.
I'm back.
You're back, Brandon?
I am.
Hello. I'm just responding to Captain Sheepy in the comments. They're talking about how they're doing the Sims 2 Legacy Challenge, which is where you have 10 generations of Sims.
Oh.
All your aspirations are selected by a dice roll, and y'all can't move out. And they say that they're halfway through it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's or they're about almost halfway through it. So they're about to get to 5 generations or something like that. And I was mentioning how my favorite challenge is the Black Widow challenge, which is where you get your sim married, and then I'm explaining this twice in the show now. But anyways, you get your sim married. They hook up with another sim at the wedding, and then you kill the husband, and then you marry the next sim, and then you just kind of keep repeating that process about 8 times. And that's the Black Widow.
You've told me about this before, but that's awesome.
Yeah. That's kind of the fun part about the Sims, are like sort of the self-imposed challenges. Is like there's a lot of really interesting challenges that people make for the Sims, for like people who have played it and they're just kind of looking for like have you ever heard of the ugly to beauty challenges?
I haven't.
So those are, you take a sim and you make them just the most stretched out face that like doesn't make sense. It's basically what it's honestly it's exactly what it sounds like.
All right.
You start with the sim, they're impossibly ugly, and then you try and fuck out the bad genes, and it's unfortunately it's a very,
the way you describe it is so horrible.
Yeah, it sounds like a eugenics experiment. It honestly does.
Because it is.
Because it literally is a eugenics. It's sim eugenics. But yeah, that's a challenge that allows. So like, if you ever check out like the collection, which is where you can like people like make sims and houses and families and etc., and then they upload them to the gallery for you to just download, so you don't have to do any of that work. You just get to play the game. And you'll get, first of all, a lot of things that just look like they're preview pictures for porn, because of all the mods and like the like weird faces that people make their sims make. But then like the other half are just like, usually it's like a lot of like ugly to beauty, and it's like just this alien looking monstrosity of a person. And yeah.
It's cool for such like a sandbox game that people have come up with so many different ways to make it fun.
Yeah, you can really just that's part of like what I like about it is it's just like there's so like, especially with each new expansion pack that like actually adds anything of value to the game. There's just like so many crazy scenarios you can make happen with the Sims. Like a couple of the like this one Let's Play YouTuber I watched, Call Me Kevin. I started watching his videos because of his Sims 2 Let's Plays, and it's just because like he was making the craziest shit happen. Like he did like a battle royale in a prison. He just makes a lot of crazy shit happen in that game, and a lot of, like I've had a lot of ridiculous things happen in my Sims game too, and it's just like, okay, well, didn't mean to make that happen, but that's fun that it did.
That's part of what makes it fun.
Yeah, like my Sim got married to a vampire in college, and then the day after the marriage, she burnt to death because she was out in the sun for no reason.
The wedding was during the day.
Oh, that might have been it.
Alright, so I have your layers hidden. We can continue to talk, but I'm just letting you know because I'm going to start drawing.
Oh, okay. I'm going to hide your layers as well.
Best mount ever. That's the thing. I don't know what mine's going to be yet, but I'll come up with something.
BC 1, 2, 3?
Yep.
Okay. What's your favorite mod?
My favorite
Of the
mod?
game?
It's
Yeah.
hard to say. I haven't really... Honestly, as much as I game, I don't have much experience with mods. I play a lot of games. Like,
Vanilla?
I like them vanilla. And then by the time I would want to get experimental, I'm kind of gotten my fill of the game a lot of times.
I feel you on that. I'm actually very much the same way. The games that I've modded are generally like open world games where I'm not quite finished with the game yet, but I'm ready to like start shaking up the dynamic a little bit, you know, like if I feel like I've seen everything.
Yeah.
Like Skyrim, for instance. Like, and it also helps like if the game makes it easy to mod, you know, obviously it's going to be a big factor, but Skyrim I definitely modded.
Yeah, that was
Like,
one that I modded quite a bit, but that was only because I came back years after the original playthrough.
Yeah, same. Well, I started my original playthrough, and then I scrapped it, and then I started over, but I was just like, I've seen enough to know what the game is like. Time to add my own shit. And
Yeah.
my favorite mod for Skyrim, I would say, was the one where I would do a sneak attack, and then it would play the John Cena theme song.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great stuff. I'm a big fan of the mod that in Left 4 Dead it turns the charger into the chocolate guy.
Yeah, you told me about that one. Did
Yeah.
you say
And I also
chocolate?
have a mod that turns the tank into Donkey Kong who throws barrels at you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't
I do like
think
mods.
my
I
style.
like them. I just don't do it very often.
Yeah. For very much the same reason you said, is like once I hit the point where I'm like ready to start modding the game, I've also sort of already got my fill.
It's like how we were talking about TV or movies earlier. There's just too much stuff to watch and play. Like there's just so much stuff that as soon as I'm finished with something, I'm like, I don't really stick around. I just move on to the next thing because I'm trying to like, I have like 100 games that I've bought and haven't played yet.
Yeah.
Speaking of games, I've been playing The Last of Us 2, and I've been really liking it a lot. I know the reviews have been getting bombed, and I'm not sure why yet, but I'm not reading stuff because there's a lot of spoilers out there, so I'm avoiding them.
There's a lot of spoilers out there.
But so far, I'm loving it. I don't know, it's great. But we'll see. I don't know. I want to discuss it, but I also...
Yeah, I mean...
we can discuss it,
once
but
you,
I just don't want to read up on what's going on with people's opinions and why they're mad.
Sure. Well, if you want, you can give your, you said you already like it, but you can definitely feel free to.
Some of
discuss what
the
you played so far.
critiques I've been hearing have been that Ellie's character is not like she was in the first game, which I haven't experienced any of that so far, so I disagree so far.
Okay.
I don't know. I think some people are mad that
I want to do more research, but I don't want to dig in yet because I don't want to find spoilers. But I think some people are mad that she's like a lesbian now, but I don't see why, because unless they're just homophobic, because she was a kid in the first one, so there's no reason to say that she would be or isn't. If that's the thing they're talking about her not, unless it's something else that's changed that I haven't seen yet. But
Yeah, I've heard things, but I can't really say anything because I'm afraid about what would be a spoiler to you. And what,
yeah, well, I mean,
so,
I don't want to spoil anything for the viewers either. But
let's give it some time before we talk about.
all right,
I guess
I'm just enjoying it a lot. So
I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
I'll talk to
But,
you
like,
after
I'll-
the show's over.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, feel free. I mean, whatever. It's a game. It's out. I mean, might as well talk about.
But
it
yeah, but
since
it just came
you're
out. It
playing
hasn't been out a week yet. I don't want to like just flat out tell plot points, but so far the game's really fun. The gameplay is like very reminiscent of the last one. The story is about just as like gripping so far as the last one. And I love the last one, so I'm enjoying it so far.
Nice. I never actually had a chance to play the last one.
Really? You should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have?
PlayStation 3 or...
I used to have a PlayStation 3, but that thing died like way back in when I like my senior year of college.
I've been meaning to post this on Reddit, unless I'm sure somebody's beat me to it, but it's pretty interesting. In The Last of Us 2, when you can like wander through a lot of like worn down buildings and things like that, and more than once I've found a PlayStation 3 under like someone's TV, which is I think a nice touch because the first one came out on PlayStation 3 and it was supposed to be current timing, so there wouldn't be PlayStation 4s yet because the world ended then.
That's awesome.
So I thought it was a nice detail.
It's a good attention to detail right there. Captain Cheapy says they have 2 pregnant Sims in their family, which and one's gonna be an alien baby. So I think those babies are gonna end up being Captain Cheapy's 5th generation of Sims. They said that they watched Call Me Kevin video with the mole people living in the walls, which was, I believe, The Sims 3. He made a family with one set of Sims, and then he made a family of another set of Sims that, like, he sectioned off in the walls of the house. So
Like
that,
a
like, the 2
parasite
families...
situation.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, the 2 families never actually ran into each other, but they were still existing in the same house.
That's funny.
And Captain Sheepy says, I love realism gold for Doom. Real spelled, you know.
What is that?
Art.
Do you know?
I don't know, actually.
We should
I've
look
been
it up.
actually reading up on some Doom mods. So it's been interesting because, like, I've been posting in this Discord for this. Well, I haven't been on there quite as much lately, but, like, a couple weeks ago, I was sort of checking out this Discord for another Let's Play sort of review video game YouTuber guy.
That you were getting
And
in
I've seen a
fights?
lot of. What was that?
That you were getting in fights?
Yeah, I was getting in fights with the neo-Nazis on that Discord.
I mean, if you're gonna get in fights with somebody,
You're like the Indiana Jones of forums.
it's great.
You know, that makes it sound so much cooler. Than
I know.
it actually
I know. I think that's the secret to life, is to just make all your activities sound better than they are.
Yeah, that's what like a resume is. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, are you
toilet cleaner? No, I am a plumbing apparatus.
I am a facilitator of bowel movements.
Well, that doesn't sound great either.
No, it doesn't.
But you can make
But
anything
anytime
sound
you
fancy.
Put the word facilitator in there. It's a good
It's a
word.
nice bonus word.
Yeah, it means you are vaguely around and involved in without necessarily contributing an excessive amount.
Right.
On that Discord where I'm Indiana Jones, I guess. People keep posting like screenshots from like videos from like mods they keep playing for Doom, and like people have modded Doom into any video game. Like I saw this person playing like a World War II with like realistic iron sights game. I saw somebody playing some shit where it was like just like they were like in an asylum or something like that doing survival. Like somebody made a Doom mod that is like that game Slaughterhouse, you know, with like the big dude in the mask. Like turn Doom into anything, and it's kind of insane. And like those are the mods I wouldn't mind trying out sometime, like the ones that are just like their own new thing.
Yeah.
Because actually so I'd say the best mod I ever played was a Half-Life 1 mod called They Hunger, which I don't know if you ever played that.
I haven't.
It's a zombie game. They made it for Half-Life 1. It's got 3 episodes. You start out, you're driving along, and then like your car gets broken down, and then you travel to a church, and like zombies start attacking you on your way there, and the shit gets out of hand. In the one episode, you wake up in a hospital, and the nurses are all zombies and stuff. It's at times creepy, but it's surprisingly long, and it's it's a Half-Life 1 mod, so it plays very much like Half-Life 1, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. And
Cool.
they were coming out with a sequel for Half-Life, like built on the Half-Life 2 engine, but I don't think anything ever ended up happening with that one.
Something that it's kind of unrelated, but also reminds me of that. You said you didn't see the PlayStation 5 announcements. You probably haven't seen this, but they're making a new Resident Evil that is another first-person one, original story.
Oh, sick!
It's called like oh shit, I don't remember what it's called, but it looks like it'll be another cool one. I don't know. I like that they're still like
hell yeah,
doing the first-person stuff because I liked, even though I haven't beat it, I like 7 a lot.
Oh man, I love 7 so much. I beat that shit in 2 sittings.
I need to play it all the way through. I just get scared.
You're much more squeamish about video games than I am, I guess. Which
Yeah,
is interesting.
it's true.
'Cause I feel like you're more. I mean, I've seen a lot of horror movies, but I feel like you. I mean, how do you feel about Gar? How do you feel about Gar?
I don't mind gore. I'm fine.
You don't-
I don't. When I'm in control, I get scared. That's honestly what it is. The fact that I'm the one, like, if I have to just sit and watch somebody make bad decisions and get murdered, I can handle it. But if I'm the one who's like something comes running at me and I'm like I'm the only one who can save myself, then I'm gonna like scream and like.
I don't
So
know.
I love video games because I like being in control and having to save myself. Because
I like it too, but I'm just saying I get this. That's the only medium where like spookiness gets me.
I just can't do.
And it's
like,
not that I don't
can't-
like it, but I just I don't know. I liked what I played of it. I don't know. I need to like play in like. I have to be like, all right, I'm done for today, and then I just haven't gotten around to beating it. I'm like, all right, this is too much.
I've had a couple games make me put down the controller before. It's always like the weirdest thing that makes me like put down game control. Like I was playing this game called The Suffering the one time, and and also Captain Cheapy, I see that you posted some screenshots of your Sims in the Discord. If folks want to join
Oh,
the Discord,
awesome!
they can
Thank you
find
for
link
using the
in below.
Discord.
Yeah, if y'all want to post your screenshots in the Discord, we're more than happy to take a look at them. We will comment on them. We love our Discord folks. They are the nicest people, and we will make sure that they are protected, and we will protect. But
I've had to travel some places to beat people up.
Who have used our Discord to attack our people. So I'm just saying.
he's the real Indiana Jones of our Discord. But I shouldn't have got off topic.
You
Forget
were
now.
talking about scary stuff.
Oh yeah, one game that made me nope out was The Suffering. But it's interesting the part that made me nope out. Like The Suffering is an interesting game. I've talked about it before on this show, but just to rehash real quick, it's you're on a prison. Prison gets overrun by monsters, and you may have killed your family, and what you do in the game determines if you did kill your family or not. And that's The Suffering. But the game has all sorts of things they try and do to freak you out. Like they even it's like a dice roll, but like sometimes you'll just have images flash on your screen. Like a spooky image will flash in front of your screen, like it's a jump scare, and like that won't even get me. But like this one time, you're like traveling in like all these empty prison cells, and like it's a spooky basement, and like you get to the point where like you break open these boarded up prison cells, and when you step in the prison cell, you hear like the disembodied voice of the person who was in that cell, and like they all say like fucked up shit, like talking about like the things they did to their victim or whatever. But like that was fine. But then the one that made me nope out, and like I'm playing it, I'm like 15, I want to say. It's like the middle of the night, and then I just like you get in the last prison cell, and like the other two guys are like prim and proper. They're just like, oh, that girl wasn't so innocent after I was done with her. And the other guy says like,
Prim and proper about.
what was that?
So that doesn't sound too prim and proper. I mean, like it's like a gentlemanly way to say you murdered a girl.
Or more.
Or
but,
more.
You know, yeah. But his voice is very Fraser Crane or Niles sounding.
Fair enough.
But and then you get to the last prison cell, and it's just this guy who goes, "I found a way out," and then like I was just like, "Okay, turning the game off, going to bed."
I think for me, it has to be a first-person game for me to be freaked out. Cause like right now, I'm playing The Last of Us, and it's terrifying, but I can handle it. I just don't like the lack of peripherals. Because games use it
as a mechanic. to make stuff pop
Yeah.
up on you all the time, and they always do it.
Like that lady grabs you from like the side and like will shake your like, oh no, she's in my face now.
The one that got me originally was playing what was the Condemned 2 as a kid, and there's a scene where you're walking through a meth lab. It's like an old abandoned hotel, and you go into this bathroom and you find all your health in behind like medicine cabinets and like a mirror. And I open a mirror medicine cabinet, grab the medicine, and when I shut it, there's a guy standing in the reflection that actually works in the mirror. There's just a meth dude with like a pipe standing behind you in the reflection.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And he just starts screaming the moment like you see him. And now I struggle to play video games. It broke me.
That's they kind of pull something like that in Dead Space, which I was so mad because on Thursday I believe I went on Twitter just like while I was zooming with some friends, and I go on Twitter and I see that Dead Space is trending, and I'm just like, no fucking way.
New Dead Space.
And then I Google, and it's just everyone complaining that they didn't announce a new Dead Space during like the E3 reveal, and I was just like, God fucking damn it.
You do love
I
your
was
Dead
so
Space.
mad.
I do too. I played them all except for the last one.
I love me some Dead Space.
Have you ever played the last one?
I didn't play 3, but I saw that they just added it to Steam, and it's like $8.
So there is a Dead Space that you haven't played yet.
That is true, but I hear everyone tells me not to play that. So
Right, but who's to say the new one
it's a
won't
bit of
be
a
terrible
contretemps
too?
there.
Who's to say that the new one won't be terrible too? So you might as well play the one that exists
Yeah, fair.
for now.
I do want to play 3 just to kind of see what happened.
It's $8. It's time. I'm assuming you have something to play on.
I don't. I mean, it's weird. Like this tablet, certain games will play just fine, but I've been playing like Moonlighter on games.
How is that?
Windows
I mean,
Live.
considering it.
It's fun. It's basically like a roguelite.
I like roguelites.
Like, yeah, it's a roguelite, and like they kind of mask it by giving your sense of progression. Like you have to manage a shop too, and like you have to upgrade the town so you can get better stuff out of your shop. But like that's sort of how you get your character leveled up in the roguelite. So it's basically like the same roguelite mechanics except just slightly different presentation. To
Is it
obfuscate
roguelite or roguelike?
There's a difference between the two, and I don't.
Oh, really?
know
Okay.
the
Well,
differences.
there you go. Then I didn't realize
I'm
that.
looking it
so
up
it's
real
like
quick.
One of us is wrong, and
Rogue-
one of us is not.
Any genre of game that takes certain elements from roguelites, such as previously generated or procedurally generated game content, but typically have more complex visuals and require less strategy to play. So a roguelike is like Binding of Isaac, I guess, and a roguelite, or no, they have pictures of Binding of Isaac when they talk about roguelites.
Is it possible that they're the same?
It's
Different
I
names.
think. Yeah, Binding of Isaac is listed under roguelike. I think you have to essentially start from scratch every time for it to be a roguelike, and I don't know. It doesn't matter enough to me.
Right, fair enough. I just didn't know if I was just checking if I'd been saying it wrong for years. That's all.
I never thought about the I knew there was a distinction, but I never really
Maybe one's like a less aggressive version of the you start a roll for every time.
Yeah, like a
One's
roguelite
more
is
arcadey
basically-
and one's more like you build up as you're
Yeah.
restarting every time.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think a roguelite they intend for you to actually beat, maybe. Like if you put enough
I'd
effort
beat Binding
into
of
it. Like
Isaac.
well, that's true. But yeah, but like you had to start from scratch. You kind of had to get like luck of the draw, but you also had to play really strategically. But it's kind of like how in Void Bastards, you can like purchase upgrades so that each time you play through is a little easier.
I should beat that one. I haven't yet.
No, it's a fun game. I really like
I
it.
like it quite a bit. I played a lot of it. I'm probably pretty close.
The ending was kind of like a letdown. It was
I
just,
feel like with
not like it was a-
roguelikes, it kind of is because, I don't know. I mean, I guess they don't have to be, but I feel like oftentimes they are.
Yeah, very true. But yeah, it's I like Void Bastards, a lot of fun. But yeah, Moonlighter is good. It's a nice roguelite. I'm pretty sure it counts as a roguelite. But it's weird because it's pixel graphics, but it runs at a lower frame rate on my computer than, say, Minecraft or The Sims 4. Now, honestly, some of that could be chalked up to the animation is sprite-based, so they obviously can't pack in the same amount of frames as you can for like a 3D animation. You can't do like keyframes and like the in-betweens that like the computer automatically smooths in and things like that. But I've played it on my computer before, and it's definitely at a lower frame rate. So like, it's weird. Like my tablet runs The Sims 4 all right. I have the graphics turned way down, but still. But then for Moonlighter, it's almost a little heavier for my tablet to run it. So like some games, I don't understand what this tablet has a hard time running and what it doesn't sometimes.
Yeah, I think it comes down to probably how well the games are optimized
and stuff. Yeah, that actually makes me wonder because Far Cry 5 runs like a fucking charm. That game is really optimized, so I wonder if that would run on this tablet.
Speaking of Minecraft, in about 5 days, the new update comes out. I don't know how fast it will be on our server, but
well, that's interesting.
yeah. And from what I've read, if it updates the way I assume, which is not the best news, it is in some ways and also not the other ways. It will, the new parts of the Nether will be added to the areas we haven't explored yet, so we'll have to venture way out. But we won't lose our highway.
No.
So, good and bad.
Okay. Well, we can always go the opposite direction of the Intercontinental Highway.
Right. We have reasons. Yeah, exactly. We have reasons to explore. No. So.
Yeah. So for folks watching, we've.
I wish we had control of the server because then we could like invite people from the show.
Yeah.
But it's,
Well, I mean, I don't want to give it out for free, but maybe we can invite to like Captain Sheepy, who I would trust on the server if they were interested in playing on the server.
Yeah, once you're a VIP level 4, like Captain Sheepy is, Captain Sheepy has donated $10,000, and he has they have reached VIP level 4. You can all get there too. The secrets, we have many secrets of DrawBomb that we don't tell you until you reach VIP level 4. Captain Sheepy knows, but they won't tell you.
And you can read all about how to get to the upper levels in our book, Bombinetics.
Bombinetics. I'm glad you're picking up what I'm putting down over here.
Yeah. The only way you can level up to level 5 is you do have to be on our mega yacht, and I am sorry. There's a little bit of slave labor involved with that, but hey, if
you're giving
you
away too much. We just like to call it the pleasure cruise.
Oh, that's right. I'm
what
sorry.
happened?
I'm still working. Brandon's the marketing guy.
Right. There has to be some, mystery to it. That's part of the deal.
Sorry, folks. I didn't mean to give away the slavery. I mean,
it's like fun slavery. Like you get to clean the pool.
Yeah.
That only the levels 10s get to swim in.
Yeah. We're the level 10s. What's going on?
No, we're god tier level.
Yeah.
We're the prophets.
That's why we can speak to the bomb names on the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever color our name is. I think it's yellow, actually. It's yellow.
But yeah, a Minecraft server is part of that. So all the more reason to donate $10,000 to us.
Goddamn right.
And you can play virtual Legos with us.
If you're donating and it feels like it hurts, you're not donating enough yet.
Right.
It has to really hurt.
You have to accept the pain.
Mm-hmm.
You have to we have to get to the point where you've broken enough that it feels like it was worthwhile.
Yeah. You're gonna have to like disgrace your family and just leave them like you're like some kind of QAnon person or something like that. Just like really just isolate yourself from everyone you know and love.
Right.
And we'll come pick you up in the DrawBomb.
The bomb chopper. The bomb chopper. I don't know.
The bomb chopper.
having a air flight vehicle and a bomb combination title is not the best marketing.
You know, it took a lot to get FAA clearance. And we actually still haven't gotten the FAA.
Yeah, it took so much.
Just to give you a heads up,
that we haven't done it yet.
We do have to fly under radars. Or else
right. We fly very low to the ground. They can't pick us up. So, just trust us.
Sorry to your neighbors in advance.
But boy, the cruise is great.
It's a really great cruise for us.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's something to gain from it for you too, but it's a really great cruise for us.
Yeah, and that's what matters most, and that's what you should care about most. Otherwise, if you didn't, you haven't read Bomb and Annex then. And you really should get on that. I can't stress that enough. You do need to read the book. It's $55 hardcover, $100 paperback, so you want to get the hardcover.
And $2,000 for the digital copy.
Mm-hmm. We don't make the rules. That's Amazon, not us.
Right. That's a... What's his name?
Jeff Bezos?
It's a Bezos thing.
Yeah. Bomb and Annex.
There you go. So pick that up at your local Barnes & Noble.
That's right.
And
I thought
yeah.
you were just gonna say bar at first, and I was just like, they should sell books at bars.
Why not?
What? But yeah, I like to read. Check it out. I'm reading The Sun Also Rises right now, and I did just pick this book up.
It'll be so that people. The primary use of bombs or books being sold at bars is for impressing someone.
Yeah, just to pretend.
Like, oh yes, I wore my last copy of War and Peace out, so can I get another one, please?
Sorry, let me just fiddle with my glasses here.
And could I get a double shot of Fireball and a copy of War and Peace?
Can we get a couple of fucking Jaeger bombs here and 4 copies of Gravity's Rainbow, please?
I like that world. Like, sick, bro. We're gonna read the shit out of this.
Honestly, like, though, that would actually be dope.
And they're all like,
I would call it
bros
like
reading
a bar
books.
that you can do your book clubs in.
Yeah. I'd be up for that. I just like the contrast of, like, bros ordering books.
Yeah,
Chapter
dude.
4!
Check
Chapter
out.
4! They're all like chanting.
I really think what Machiavelli is saying is that humanity is in
Fucked up,
its default state evil, and that we are all secretly villains who are just trying to repress our urges to do bad because we have to live in society with each other. Anyways, I'm going up for another round. Who wants to get fucking wasted?
Who wants a Coors Light?
And then we'll talk about Machiavelli. I like how Machiavelli is a character in Assassin's Creed 2, but then he's more of a character in Brotherhood.
I don't remember. It's been a long time. I believe you. I'm not. I don't feel like you're lying to me. He is. Trust me, dude. I swear.
Why would I lie to you about this? Why are you doing this? Man?
Yeah, I just haven't played those in so long. And then the newest one, I decided to quit because it was fun, but I don't. It's still the same game, and I don't feel like putting 40 hours or 100 hours into an Assassin's Creed anymore. Maybe one day.
I mean, it is like a 10-year-old series, and
It's just, it's too... Every game's kind of the same as the last one, to a degree.
Yeah.
They add new mechanics here and there, but overall, you're still doing the same stuff, so I just was like, I'm having some fun, but I have 1,000 other games I should probably play first.
yeah. Do you remember back in the day, in the olden day of video games, where like anytime you got a new game, it was kind of a grab bag because they hadn't already invented like all the genres yet?
Yeah, there was a lot of that, and also you couldn't, up to a certain point, there weren't really reviews to read.
True.
So you were like, okay,
I mean,
this is like one of 2 video games I get to buy a year. I hope it's good. And then you get like burnt, and you're like, fuck, fuck
Yeah.
Sonic Heroes.
I saw this one caption contest. I think it was on Cracked or whatever, and it was just like, it was something like what your grandma sees when she goes to buy you Christmas presents or whatever, and like the one is like this really shitty looking Wii game with a bunch of like Teletubby ass looking like mascots on it, and the title of the game has been photoshopped to say, "The man at the store said this was good."
Yeah, my mom used to, like, me and Matt would open these, like, me and my brother would open these, like, games that were just grab bag, like, PlayStation 2 games, and we're just, like, semi-racing 90, like, 9.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like, it's like, what is this? No. We we'd give it a chance. We like pop it in,
Yeah.
play it one time, and be like, all right, that's not playable. That was made with the intention of going straight into a grab bag.
Yep. My brother and I used to rent, like, it used to be like a weekly thing where we'd rent like a new game, and you know, if it was a game we really liked, we'd just rent it multiple times, like Contra Hardcore.
Oh yeah, we do that a ton.
But
what do you think
like,
your
a lot of
most
times it was
rented?
just, like,
I'll let you finish your story first, then I have a question. For
oh
you.
yeah, just mostly it was us just like a lot of times it was us just being like, huh, this looks interesting, let's give it a shot, and then like. Since it was my brother and I both like competing for like the game that we would rent, like if one of us was wrong and the game sucked, we'd be like, "Sure, dumbass, now it's my turn to rent the game."
What do you think your most rented, like repeat rented game was? Like maybe one that you probably should have just bought, but you just kept. You're like, you go to the video, like I don't know if you had a local video store or the one you usually went to that you'd just be like, time to grab that game again.
There was not even a doubt in my mind. It was definitely Contra Hardcore. We
Okay.
rented that game
What is that system
times.
for? Or what's that played on?
The Sega Genesis.
Sega Genesis. Okay. I think the
Yeah,
one we
so-
rented the most, and I'm not saying this is a great option, but it was just an impossible game to beat, and we enjoyed it playing the first 2 levels over and over and over. Battletoads and Double Dragon. We used to rent that for Nintendo all the time, the original Nintendo, and I've never made it past like the 3rd level, but it was fun.
Well, Battletoads, yeah. I mean, that shit was like the.
They were
Infinity Tower,
impossible,
whatever it was
like
called.
on purpose.
Yeah, that game was fucking impossible, man. That shit was not.
I beat the first Battletoads with cheat code. Or no, I beat Battletoads and Double Dragon once with cheat codes just because I was curious. Because I'm like, okay, this was like I played this a lot as a kid. Let's see what see it through. And it was just like, there's no way. You have to like make it through in 3 lives. There aren't like, you don't really pick up lives very often. And like, everything just murders you like indiscriminately. And I'm like, it's a long game. And I finally got to the end. I'm like, no way has anybody ever like, except for like those people that are like the speedrunner types that you see them playing Mario, and they're like flying all over the place, like bouncing off of everything, like who've like played it every day for their 40 years of their life. Like, other than that, it's pretty much impossible, I think.
Yeah, those games that like, I remember playing. Okay, so another game that we may have rented a shit ton too as a kid, but I don't think as much as Contra Hardcore, was called Dynamite Heady. This is also a Sega Genesis game, but
I feel like I remember that.
That's a really fun game. A lot of fun boss fights, really crazy, just constantly like new shit. Like the amount of art assets they had to make for that game must have been insane. But like it's a hard fucking game, and like we've gotten to this enemy called Babyface, who is, it's like the game all of a sudden becomes like a flying shoot 'em up game, like bullet hell sort of type. Like the game goes through like genres a couple times, and so like you turn into a bullet hell shoot 'em up game, and like the flight levels where you're trying to fly through like this fortress are insanely tough, and then you get to Babyface, who starts out as a baby's face, and as you knock his health down, he sheds into like his next stage is he's a little boy, next stage he's an old man, next stage he is
a classic the
Sphinx puzzle.
No, I was gonna say the what's the movie with Brad Pitt?
The Benjamin Button.
Classic Button situation.
The reverse Benjamin Button right there.
No, that's the. Oh wait, yeah, he started as an old man. You're right.
Yeah,
It's
but
reverse.
so like Babyface is an impossible boss fight. Like I play with cheat codes. That shit is fucking impossible. And then like there's 8 more levels like after that, of even harder bosses. Like how the fuck do you beat like we did it on an emulator. Like how the fuck do you beat Dynamite Heady without save states? Like I don't know how you can do that. I don't think it's possible. But I think these games were made for like arcade machines. So like if you ever beat the game, like I think the arcade owner had to like suck your dick or something like that. Like,
I think a lot of them are. It was back in the days where games weren't meant to be completed. It was meant to be like a challenge to get to the end. So like instead of coming up with content, it was like, see how far you can get. It's like you know, it's like a record type thing. Like, oh, he got this close to the end. He got this close to the end. It wasn't about like, all right, the game is an experience as a whole. Everybody who plays it will eventually beat it. It wasn't like
And
that. It
have
was
one-
like, oh, you beat it? Wow, you can brag to your friends that you beat this game because no one else has.
Yeah. And it's also about, you know, eating them quarters. Like, the harder the game is,
Right.
the more game there is yet to beat. More
Makes money
quarters
for
you
the
get.
arcade, and then also, yeah. So, like, it's funny when you play Nintendo games, it's like they were the first, it was like one of the first consoles, like, after, like, what, Atari and Neo Geo and, like,
Yeah.
Commodore 64 and that kind of stuff. And, like, it was the first console I had, but it was still pretty early on, so, like, a lot of the games were still had that mentality where they're just like,
Yeah.
it's meant to just see how far you can get, who got the best record, and it's like, I remember, like, the first game that came out, or the first game that not came out, but the first one that I, like, played that you just go back as far as you died and you just get unlimited retries, and I was just like, holy shit, this is amazing. I can keep trying, and I don't just, like, have to get sent back to the beginning of the game.
You're like, oh my
And
god.
that was, like, a new thing to me, and now it's, like, common. It's, like, the main
Now it's like
type
the
of
game
game.
doesn't let you get to the end of it.
It's hardcore.
Bullshit.
Now it's a mode to play, hardcore mode. Like, that's not a thing
Yeah.
that exists unless you choose it.
Why do they make it if you can't?
How's your drawing coming along? Because mine's been done for about
Oh, I'm
15
done.
minutes. Oh, you are? Okay. Well, that's
I
great
just
news.
finished.
Okay, perfect timing. Alright, I'm going to reveal yours. You might have known mine from the chat. Oh, whoa.
I've intentionally forced myself not to look at it.
That's awesome. I love the background.
Oh, and thankfully I didn't actually see Aaron's comment.
Yeah,
on
that's
the
what I was
photo.
saying. I assumed you had and you were just being polite.
Oh no, I haven't. So thankfully I didn't see that. But that is okay, and I love it. That's pretty great.
I like-
Mother of Dragon.
I like that the snake seems pretty happy. Everybody's freaked out, so I don't know. Well, I mean, the whole city's on fire, so apparently the one guy
So-
with the hat is being pretty destructive with his power, but he's having a good
I
time.
realized it's kind of like I did actually mean to go for the fact that it's only scary because it's a giant snake and not because it's actually
The
destroying
entire
everything,
city's
but
on
then I
fire,
did
unless
make
that's
the city
coincidence.
Here, actually, let me just fix this drawing up. Then.
I do like the fire, though. I don't think you should get rid of it, unless...
I like the fire, but I like the idea of the snake not actually like everyone just being scared of the snake because it's a giant snake. Was the original punchline in my head.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I don't want to dilute my message.
We'll have a little word bubble. It's like, don't worry, guys, he's nice. He's trained.
He's trained. He's punishing. He'll poop outside if you want him to.
He only eats cucumbers.
Ooh. They're really watery poops that come out, but it's easier to clean.
He's friendly. He doesn't even eat meats.
He's a friendly guy.
What's the snake's
He's a
name?
friendly guy. The snake?
Yeah,
Oh, Larry.
Larry the snake.
Yep. Larry the Snakeable guy.
Alright, I like it. I did like the fire, though, but I will,
like the fire.
I will
but-
choose to accept your artist, your choice as an artist.
Alright. There we go.
Great work.
Thank you. I like your dragonfly thing a lot too. I made
I like the
sky red.
diversity in your drawing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
All
Well, it's,
all races are scared of the giant snake.
it's gotta be inclusive.
It's good work.
Uh,
I try to do that when we draw stuff on the show, honestly. Which is a good, I think, habit, because I feel I think I draw a lot of white men because I see myself in the mirror every day, and it's the easiest thing for me to draw. Like, it's in the same answer.
We draw men in the mirror. Like, you draw men a whole lot. So
That's what I'm saying. Like, in the same respect, I don't draw a lot of women, as many as
Yeah.
I should. So I try to, include all the races and try to include the genders, include people who have different hair than me. It's hard to draw things other than myself. I'm
obsessed with myself.
yeah, that's it. I just want to see myself as many situations as possible. It's the only reason I learned to draw. It's because my imagination lacks. I need visuals. That's not true.
You're a 4 on that Apple scale.
Yeah, that's right. I don't even know. I can't remember my own face in between visits to the mirror.
You really lack an object permanence.
But on that note, it is the end of the show. I am gonna save. Let me save this drawing real quick. I need to do a big. I've been bad about posting stuff on the Twitter. I need to do a big dump. Sorry about that.
Yeah, just dump all over.
I'm gonna do a dump.
Like, give him a dump.
I'm gonna do a dirty dump on the Twitter.
Dump on him. Dump on him.
And then I'll try to be better after this week.
Dump up and dump on him.
But thanks for watching.
Thank you, Captain Cheapy, for being in the chat. I'm going to.
I mean, we got up to 5 viewers here at the end. They all came in during this game, so like apparently.
All right.
Rock paper pencil brings the people in.
Thank you, everybody. Tune in next week when we draw celebrities and then pay each other $1.
Yes, we're going to do it, but we need your help. So please be here to help us win $1.
Yeah. Like, it's not gonna be it's gonna be our dollars, but we need your celebrity choices.
You know, if we have enough community like help, I would be happy to send $1 out to those who help us too.
Yeah,
if you have a Venmo, I would be happily send $1 out your way too.
Yeah, I send like what? Okay, we draw.
Whoever loses owes $1 to me, or that insinuates that you're gonna lose. But when you lose, you'll send $1 to me, and then $1 to the loser. It's a $2 price. That's it's climbing.
$2 is getting a little expensive. I don't know if I can do that.
But we'll discuss it. But if there is enough interaction from the viewers, we can throw some money your way too. It won't be much, but it'll be some.
It'll be like $1 or $2 just to show you that we love you.
Yeah.
I'm looking
just
at
like my dad showed me
that.
that he loved me by giving me $1.
That's right. Well, when we did the bets on the wrestling, and I ended up almost with all your money, but then just with most of it.
I think I only owed like $1 in the end. That last day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, $2. I owed you $1 and Matt $1.
I ended up with like $3. It wasn't a lot, but we'll send you guys $1. I'm looking at your Sims updates, Captain Sheepy, and I didn't realize they had the Me Sim, like the mini Sim action figures in the Sims 2 as well. But anyways, I'll comment on the Discord on your screenshots, Captain Sheepy. In the meantime,
would that be a plug to the rest of you? If you want to talk more with us, join our Discord. Yeah. We're active. Ian's more active than I am, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna really try. It's my New Year's resolution starting next year. So maybe wait till January to start commenting if you want to talk to me, but I'll be there eventually.
He's gonna eventually get around on the
I'll get around to it.
We're still working on making smiley faces for everybody.
Oh yeah. We'll do that too. Yeah. And
I have an idea of how we can just like basically come up with a list of smileys, but I figure we could just do it, stream the one day, and just crank out a whole bunch.
Yeah. We should start with like a default bomb, and then we can draw faces on it.
Yep, default bomb with faces on it.
That'll be the start.
I have a list of like ideas for emojis that we could use.
And if you guys have ideas, let us know, and we maybe might make those too, especially if you're a VIP level 5.
That's right. Get on this boat.
For an easy payment of $10,000, you can help us decide on emojis. Sounds like great value to me.
Oh god, the best value ever.
I've heard of some values before, and this one's the best one that I've heard of.
This is the regular value meal. You could really sink your teeth into it, this value.
Yeah. Exactly. Couldn't said it better myself. Anyways, on that note.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. I'm going to play us out.
Thank you, everybody. Please do.
You're like on the money right now. Slow it down a little bit. A little bit too early. You almost had it the whole time. You were like, I was pretty impressed. It was the best you've ever done.
I heard you click the mouse button, so I started from there.
Yeah, well, you almost got it perfectly. You just blew up a little too early, as we all do occasionally.
It's
You know, but I've been told it's
This
normal.
doesn't happen every time. I swear.
I've been told it's normal.
Look, all my friends say that they've lasted less long.
Thanks for watching. Bye.